The struggles for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes continue as they just can't protect the quarterback. They change offensive play callers and the offense takes a step back. All of it was just bad. They got a late touchdown in this game against Oregon State. But let's talk about it. The defense actually is playing better, but now the offense is taking a step back. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYjr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. I'm gonna be back on it. I've been struggling, guys, but I'm back. I'm back, and I'm here to talk to you about the Colorado Buffaloes' loss to Oregon State. The 26-19 loss to Oregon State. It's not a terrible loss. Oregon State is the number 16 team in the country. Oregon State is a team that came into this game with only 2 losses on the season, and both of those losses were combined for 6 points total. So this is a good Oregon State team. We're not going to act like Colorado lost to a bad team or something. No, this wasn't like the Stanford loss or anything. This is a good team. The problem is now it continues a losing streak. The problem is that the same things that were a problem in previous games is once again the problem. And now you've created another new problem. And that is the fact that you've changed play callers 8 games into the season. And Pat Shurmur looked worse than Sean Lewis. Sean Lewis gets paid $2.5 million to be the offensive coordinator. He left a head coaching job to be the OC, the play caller at Colorado. And now you've elevated Pat Shurmur, who is, he's not like a rookie coach or nothing. He's a coach that's been around, been in the NFL. He knows what he's doing. He knows the game of football. But you employ Pat Shurmur, who was just an analyst, as the play caller, and the play calling's worse. It's a lot of the same things that you struggled with meaning no protection, 5 on 6, 5 guys trying to block 6 guys, or hell, in their case, 5 guys trying to block 5 guys. That doesn't work for them. There's no chipping by tight ends. There's no chipping by running backs. There's no quick throws. There's no getting the ball out of Shedeur's hands. There's a lot of still long developing plays, and you can't block anybody. And the problem with Colorado a lot of times too is that in a lot of these games, whether it's the UCLA game or this Oregon game or Oregon State game, or even though a lot of times it's one guy wrecking the whole offensive line. For Oregon State, it was number 6. I don't even know his name, but he finished with 3 sacks. Why isn't there a slide of protection, a running back staying in the block, a tight end chipping on numbers? Like, why isn't there any adjustments made during the game when one player is wrecking your whole game plan? Now, shout out to Shedeur Sanders for sticking out that game, because at one point I was just like, yo, take him out. Y'all not protecting him. You could potentially be costing the man his career, the shots and the hits that he's taking. And the reason why that's disheartening is because your defense didn't play bad. Your defense actually showed up to play. They've been creating turnovers over the last 2 weeks. They're still not the most potent unit, but they're not going to be. But when they create turnovers, that should ensue more victories. You had 5 turnovers created by your defense against UCLA, and you lost that game by 2 touchdowns. It's unacceptable. And that may be what caused the change in play caller, because that is unacceptable. You can't win the turnover battle, 5-0 and lose by 2 touchdowns. Unheard of in football. But to go to Pat Shurmur and to do essentially the exact same damn thing, like not even trying to run the ball is a problem. You have to at least try to run the freaking ball. Savion Wilkerson, at times when he got the ball, made some nice plays. But you cannot just be that damn one-dimensional with an offensive line that is as pathetic as yours is, and it can't get better during the season. So you're stuck with what you got. And I was never a fan of calling them out the way the Prime did. That's not going to make them want to block more for your quarterback, for your son. But it's unfortunate because Shedeur is such a talented player. And don't even get me started about that play calling at the, because that's essentially what cost them the game. Like, think about it. Colorado lost this game 26-19. And essentially what cost them the game was the end of half touchdown scored by Oregon State because of the just horrific play calling. If you didn't watch the game, Colorado has the ball. It's 40 seconds left in the freaking half. 40 seconds left in the half. They've been struggling to create any forms of offense the entire game. They go out there and throw 2 straight incompletions, then run the ball. Oregon State has 2 timeouts. They call their timeout, get great field possession because they have a good punt return, and score a touchdown before the end of the half. When Oregon State offense didn't look good really the entire game, that gave them a spark, and that was the touchdown. Colorado lost this game by 7 points. That was the touchdown that essentially won Oregon State the game. Those type of coaching blunders cannot happen. That just can't happen. You haven't been able to block these people all game, and Shedeur has to throw 2 straight incompletions because you couldn't block them, and it was just bad play calling, and he gives up a touchdown that essentially won them the freaking game. I tweeted at the time, that's like coaching malpractice. like that is coaching malpractice right there. And if I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, I think we've done this before. You're 4-5 on the year. You started the season 3-0. You're now 4-5 on the year. Where are these next 2 wins to become bowl eligible coming from? Like, where do you get these 2 wins? You now play an Arizona team who most people chucked up as a win at home. You get them at home, luckily. But a lot of people check this Arizona team as a win. Arizona's now ranked. Arizona's number 23 in the country. Arizona is now ranked. They're 6-3 on the year. This is a ranked football team led by a first-year head coach in Jed Fish, I think is his name. I don't know if that's a win. I mean, it could be a win. You have a chance there, but it ain't no just, chuck that up as a win. And then your next 2 is against Washington State, who isn't ranked, but has a good football team, a team that can just flat out score points, something that you haven't been able to do. And they're fighting for their bowl lives. I ain't gonna say they're a good football team. They're 4-5 on the year, 1-5 in conference. They're the same as you. So they're going to be fighting for their bowl lives, meaning to get in a bowl game as well, because they got to win that game to possibly make a bowl. So they're not going to be any kind of pushover. And you finish the year with Utah, possibly the best or one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the entire conference. This one hurt because the changes in the coaching staff, the changes that you made behind the scenes didn't help really much of anything. And you just can't protect your quarter. You can't leave your quarterback, your future, your team. Because if something were to happen to Shedeur, I mean, the season might be over anyway, but you have no chance of even doing anything this year. And no, Lord willing, if he ends up getting a severe injury that affects next year, your first year back in the Big 12, you can't send your quarterback out there to die, essentially, like that. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to do some more max protection. There's a thing called max protection, meaning you leave 5 guys in to protect the quarterback, meaning you leave a running back, a tight end, or somebody in to protect the freaking quarterback. Don't just send him out there to get destroyed each and every single week. Those hits wear on the body. That wear and tear wears on a player in football. You think they'll learn? You think they'd learn? They understand their limitations, and you got to at least try to freaking run the ball. You have to at least try. You have to at least try. Colorado ran the ball. 5 carries was the most carries any person had. They ran the ball 4, 6, 11 freaking times. They ran the ball 11 times. They threw it 39 times. And they only lost by 7 points. you have to at least try to run the freaking ball. Or you're just going to get your quarterback killed, especially when you play Arizona. Not necessarily Arizona, especially when you play Utah. Because Utah is looking at all this. Arizona is looking at all this. You already have a target on your back, the fact that you're Deion Sanders led team Colorado. Leaving your quarterback out there to die each and every single game, that can't happen. That just simply can't happen. My name is JeffLightsyJr. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you see Colorado becoming bowl eligible? You have 3 games to win 2. 3 games to win 2. Arizona, Washington State, Utah. 3 games to win 2 to become bowl eligible. Can they do it? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload it all the time. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.